So positioning is absolutely everything when it comes to not just advertorials, but ads, funnels, campaigns in general. Positioning is going to determine messaging and the story being told and how much people watching, reading self-identify with that. Now, this is Trip, and one of their top angles is sobriety, how this is a mocktail. And I've done videos that are getting traction, but I wanted to show you the affiliate direct response version of this. Now, I did go into ChatGPT, upload a picture of me, a picture of the can, and have images made. So I got these, not that one doesn't have the bottle. I have these silly images that I have created in ChatGPT. That's my favorite. You even got my puffy face. That's really nice of it. I really appreciate it. I think this is actually missing one, two, three. Okay, has it at the top. So I generated those images just to tell a story about my personal alcoholism, sobriety. I do not struggle with it. I am aware of why I drank, and that's why I included my mom's story because that's why I drank. It was just absolutely tragic watching her die that way. It was absolutely heartbreaking. So, this is telling that story and showing Trip as a symbol, all the ingredients as symbols for how I'm enjoying sobriety, not just surviving it. So, this is positioning 101. I could do, and I'm going to show you, a generic version. So, first of all, I do want to show you a few things. First of all, this was a dark version, which I kind of like. Just simple things like that can make a difference in your testing. So don't discard simple things like light and dark. You see, I uploaded it here. This was a different version, not different enough. Okay. So here it is in the chat here. Now I want. Okay, so we're going for that middle of funnel. Again, this isn't focusing on sobriety so much. see what else. Okay, so now we have a new one on the way. Now, positioning. I want you guys to think about positioning in more expanded context. So let's just, while it's doing that, let's look it up and start a new thread that would be more in the copy prompting world, creating context. We're always trying to get to mechanism positioning. Even if you're doing bottom of funnel, this is still effective. What did you do? Okay, so what if okay, so again, copy prompting, creating context, context training. L-theanine is also pretty trendy, has been for the last year. It still is. Ashwagandha was, still kind of is, but people are burnt out on it. Also has a lot of bottom of funnel appeal, ashwagandha and magnesium. The overstim. I like that. Okay. Oops. Oops. Duplicate. Sorry, guys. You're just seeing me actually, do what I do here. Did I just do that one? I probably did. No, that's good. All right. We got the images. All right. So now we got that one going. And again, you can see that when I prompt, I'm not getting super specific in design specifications. I do give it some. So here, my design aesthetics or prompting gave me largely what I was looking for, something that was a lot more playful, kind of what I was just doing in the new thread. And this is good. So this is a decent middle of funnel, very little copy. You'll notice the other one had a lot more copy. This one is actually using my story a little bit, which is fine since I'm in the pictures. Um, so I would push back on this actually and give it a different direction on the copy, on the positioning. Uh, so here's what I'm going to do. I don't want to tell my drinking story. I want to keep this middle funnel where we're selling people who already love mocktails. We're just giving them specific reasons. This one is the only mocktail they should consider. Use me, my pictures, and story. Um, I don't care about spelling. Okay, so you can see I got a bit more context, but ultimately, did we already do that? Did we get? Yeah, we got testes. Okay, so now we got that going. All right, so now we have something completely different over here. and we're doing the stem. Now, immediately, I can see that it's missing a lot of the stem language, which is going to make this effective. So the top should really hit that straight away. So I would reprompt this to do just that, to have stem, to have the different words that are in the language, the dog whistle language that people are actively using, especially in the younger generations. But um, I say I'm getting stemmed, or I'm stemmed out. You know, I've adopted those terms because I find them to be effective. So let's just kind of okay. So now I've given it some feedback, and over here we're still generating. Now, the point of this is showing how you can think about testing. You know, it's because I can throw these up today and have two very different tests, and then just mix up the design once I get the copy where I want it, and then have variations of tests right there. So I can change the top of real estate, have everything else the same if I'm not seeing in my heat mapping, for instance. And you can just include all of the code that you need from all your various platforms for data, for Meta, Cappy, all of it you can put here so that it will install it correctly. Just make sure that you're telling it how to install it, giving it any instructions so that it can be installed correctly. Just make sure and test, make sure it fires, that all the events are being triggered, yada, yada, yada. But this is a fantastic way to quickly test and get the most out of your time. So let's check this out over here. Visually, love it. I would want the can at the top to be more integrated. Looks, but this is great. I, in a lot of ways, like this more than the personal story. Yeah, okay, good. And I really like the colors. I'm stemmed by color, and it's good. I mean, I can try different images. By the way, are a huge part of what actually converts. So I can try this same thing with totally different images, or more images of me and my mom. Things like that, and then just regular images of the ingredients, or even just leave it simple like that. um, this one has no testimonials, reviews. I could test a variation with that and see how much does that actually make a difference in the totality, or because it's a kind of name brand now, is that enough? You know, would having testimonials right at the top make a difference? So I can say, here, I want this exact same thing, but this testimonial versus this one versus this one versus this one. That's UX testing. User experience is different in each one of them, because each testimonial or review can invoke a different emotion or different ways of self identifying. That's UX testing. So let's see. We get what we want over here. Destim naturally. All right. I'm digging this enough now to give it a better look. Like the top. I like the bar that's scrolling. That's actually really cool. I might have to use that idea somewhere else right now. Uh, Loving the language. This is actually my favorite one. Good. Damn. And again, this is just an example of leading your copy prompting with positioning. Positioning 101, baby. And this is what you get when you position and prompt correctly. And this is, remember, I told it to do it in like more, I guess you could say, ecom style. So we could even get it more that way. But I like it. Like, this is very testable. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. This is getting in depth, and I'm leaving the silent part so you can just actually see me do this and how I work, how I think about it, how I leverage my trained account. All of that matters. Let me know what y'all think.